Nicole with Dark Photography and founder of Make and Taste. Make and Taste is a food blog that is geared towards baking and cooking with kids in the kitchen. There's so many great recipes and of course food photography, which is why we're here today. So today we're working with s'mores donuts, and I chose this because they're fun, there's contrasting colors, and it's gonna show you a lot of different fun things that you can do with your food photography. First thing first, I'm using an iPhone 11, and the app that I'll be using is called Snapseed. And it's a free app, and I use it for all iPhone photography that I take. So it's a great little tool to have. So let's get started. The next tip is what you're going to be shooting on and with what light, because light is really the key to any photography. So I'm using a large, you can see a large window here, or a sliding glass door. And we have the donuts here on, this is a faux like marble board, but you can also start with, we're going to start today with white, and then there's also a black board as well, and that's kind of a good starting point. The backgrounds are really where you can get creative, and so this is kind of step one. You have your great board of donuts. Donuts are also great to show the process, so if you wanted to show them in the pan and then cooling on the rack, then having the hero shot at the end. There's a lot of good fun things that we can do with the donut shot today. First thing is we have our large panel of glass, and this is what it looks like without the whiteboard and with the whiteboard. So I'm going to take this shot. I like to kind of keep it in groupings of 3. Okay, let's try that again without the board moving. There we go. It's fun. Here we go over here. And you're just gonna kind of move around and get your composition. You can get all the donuts, you can just get one donut, but then now we'll go over to Snapseed. There's a detailed shot that we'll go through. And now we'll edit. Okay, so I go to the tools function, and I typically will go to white balance and auto. That looks a little warm to me, so I'm going to bring that down more to the center. Then we have the tune image, where you'll find the brightness. Bring the brightness up. Give me the contrast. Highlights look pretty good. Shadows, I'll open up a little bit. What you'll find with the iPhone photos is with brightness, and we can kind of control that. Here we just did an overall brightness, but to get more selective, they have the select tool. So that little circle, I'm going to click onto that shadow in the middle there, and I'm just going to tune up the brightness. I'm going to do that again over here. Tune up that brightness. That looks pretty good. If I'm going to crop this for Instagram, I can go to crop. I can move the crop around. That looks great. Check. Export. Save as a copy. So now we're going to venture into another process shot. I always like some action in between shots. And for this, we're going to utilize the donut, but also the dip. So I have the marshmallow cream handy, and this is where, again, we have the light here. We hope to kind of pump in more light. Maybe we kind of go the angle here for more light. And I'm actually, you could use a black background. And maybe for this one, as you can see, this is used a lot. So this is what's great about these boards, is that they're not that expensive. So you can just buy a pile of these gray, white, and black boards and really have fun with it. Okay, so I'm going to choose this donut. I'm going to dunk the donut in there, and then I'm going to get my camera ready Make sure there's some cream on there. See a spot on the board that might not have a ton, but this will be great to show you with editing and kind of get that dip shot. Even close up. You can always go back in if you need to. And maybe this is a shot of it just sitting in there. And then left. And then put that on the rack. Okay, and we can set that aside and we can bring in the breadcrumbs and we can take a photo of before and after the breadcrumbs. You can really have a lot of fun with the process here. Donuts are a lot of fun. You can have it at an angle where, okay, awesome. And I'm also hitting the side button to take the photo. I'm not using the white circle. I'm using actually the side to do that. Okay, so we can do a nice detail shot. Let's get really close up on that crumb. And you notice I don't have my bounce light. It's a little dark. So I'm just clicking on the screen to focus on that detail. Okay. All right, let's go into Snapseed. Here's our last shot. Let's look at a dip shot. We'll go with this shot. I'm first going to crop it for the Instagram. And this is going to give us a good little example of what we can do. I'm going to do the auto white balance. It looks good. The brightness looks great. Contrast, highlights look good. I'm actually going to bring the highlights down a little more. Okay, so now we see that spot that's next to the donut there. There's a healing. It looks like a band-aid. And I'm just going to tap that little spot and see I went too close. So I'm going to now zoom in. Very sensitive, and now that spot's gone. Maybe I don't like that line, so maybe we work on that line a little bit. But as soon as you get closer to the subject, I can just do little dots around here. Now you can see that that's gone. Okay, I like that. I'm going to use maybe the vintage filter again. It's really working well with this specific shot. Okay, save as copy. Okay, great. Now we'll look at our detail shot. Okay. And we'll go through the same process. White balance, and we'll go to tools. Oh, look at those details. Okay. All right, I think I'm gonna keep that same. That could be used for Instagram stories, that could be used for crop, that could be used for a website that you're doing, and then we can save and copy. All right, so I hope that was helpful for an iPhone food photography lesson for you today. Again, you can find more information on me and my work at makeandtaste.com or at nbphotog.com with my general photography site. If you have any questions, I'd love to help and guide you in any direction that you need for your food photography. And just be creative and keep baking. Bye.